Hello, thank you for tuning here. We are here to witness what is with Adobe Illustrator. What do we have there? We have already seen how to create a file. So here we are creating a new file and we are choosing the sizes, possibly a template in centimeters. There it displays. We have chosen work, and now we need to see what is around the application. So a graphics application like Adobe Illustrator will have provisions for the user to work. We have menus. At a minimum, we have menus. We have a toolbar, a toolbox, and palettes. They vary. We have very many palettes. So here are palettes, examples of palettes. We have a toolbar, a toolbox, and menus. So these ones allow us to work with different things. They provide a lot of facilities to create artwork. So how do we work with the palettes? How do we work with the palettes, or how do we activate and deactivate them? How do we work with the toolbox, and what's in the menus? So we are going to see that as we go along. But at a minimum, when the toolbox is not displaying and the palettes are not displaying, we have the window menu that you select. When you select, there are options for activating the toolbars. We have an advanced toolbar and a basic one. A basic one has fewer tools. So when you select the basic toolbar, it will have fewer tools. But if you take for the advanced, it has more tools. It provides more. You can see the toolbox is wider. From there, we have very many palettes. If I need to put color in my artwork, I will have to activate the color palette, and it has a shortcut, as you can see there. So you choose and then have the color palette with also a color guide for swatches. So that is a palette for colors, dealing with colors. We have other palettes, navigation palette, or navigator that moves the user around the artwork, zooming in, zooming out. So those are some of the palettes that are activated via the window menu. So you can activate the tools and the palettes and get your space ready for working. So at the bottom here, we can see a zoom feature that allows one to view the work in varying sizes. You can zoom in and out and also see how many artboards you have in your work. So the work area, as we can see here, is made of the artboard. So the white space is the artboard. The work that prints falls into the artboard. Otherwise, what you put outside the artboard does not print out in case you are going to print the work. So let's have a view of maybe what we are saying. So if I have a graphic here and I have another graphic elsewhere, so for that matter, The square will display, if I'm printing, it will print out, while the circle will not print out because it is outside the artboard. The artboard is the area that prints, but the user can work from anywhere. The space is quite large. It allows you, it gives you freedom to work anywhere. But what you want to print out displays in the artboard. What is only the work in the artboard that prints out. Otherwise, the one outside the artboard does not print out. So the artboard is already preset in the settings as you create your work. So the workspace is the artboard. Once what you set in the file settings is what the artboard delivers, as we saw earlier. So having said that, you can also have layers. You can have layers for your work. As many layers. What are layers? When we go to the window menu, you can activate the layers palette. And the layers palette allows one to have as many layers. So for now, by default, you have one layer. If you have not set any layers, there is already a layer there in which you are working. But we can have another layer. We are going to see later how layers can be useful. But there is a way they categorize your work. They separate the work. You can have as many artworks in one file, but separated by layers. So you can have more layers, creating a new layer. So on the layers palette, you can see a thumbnail view, a small miniature version, a miniature view of the layer. And there is a visibility tool which is shown by an eye. Once you hit it, the layer is there but cannot be seen. Then we have another layer on top of it. I can choose to have something else in layer 2. We have layer 1 and layer 2. So layer 2, I can have maybe something there. Let's try to have possibly you can have polygon for layer 2. You can have maybe polygons. We are going to see how the tools are used over time. So layer 2 has polygons, while layer 1 has the circle. So because I've turned off the visibility tool for layer 2, I cannot see what's in layer 2. But when I hit it, it also displays layer 2, what the content in layer 2 and layer 1. When I turn off layer 1 visibility, I only see the content in layer 2. So in that way, we have a means of displaying what is in layer 2 and not displaying in layer 1. Otherwise, we can also display what is in layer 2 and layer 1 and layer 2 is not visible. They are both there, but one is not visible. Or you can choose to view both. So there is a use for that later, as we shall see, and you can create as many more layers. We have a tool for creating new layers. You create another layer. You can even select a layer and delete it. So you can create a layer and delete the layer at the same time. So when you hit the delete, the recycle bin, a small bin on the symbol of a bin allows you to delete the layer. You select a layer and delete it. Otherwise, there's another for creating another layer. And we have seen there's a visibility. So the layers on the palette are separated by colors. The colors can be seen on the outlines of the the artwork. So here we're having red color, so here the outline is red, while here in layer 1, when we are dealing with layer 1 items, the outline is blue because there's a blue coloring here to show the color of the layer. So the content in the layer displays according to the color that shows on the palette. Then, having seen that, we go back to the tools. The tools can be selected one by one. So some tools, we are going to see the tools as we work, but some tools have a small caret symbol, a small white symbol in the lower corner, right corner, that allows you to peel off the particular tool. Once you hit that tool, it shows there are more tools to it. When you select it, you click at it, it allows you to peel off. At the extreme end here, you can peel off the tool by clicking at the extreme end. You click the tool at the extreme, there is a white caret. You click it, it drops down the subsequent tools, the other tools within that toolbar. So the other tools, the whole tool set can be peeled off from the toolbox in case you need to use it, or as you work, you need the tools besides you. Similar in the kitchen, when you are preparing meals, you can put the salt nearby. You bring it, you have quick access to it. So this is a way of having a tool by your side. You don't have to search for it in the toolbox. So here, at the extreme end, once you have to peel it off, you also click and it peels off. Then you can drag it anywhere in the artwork so that you can keep using it. So there are tools that provide for that, and others are just single tools. There is nothing to add to those tools, just use it. So once you direct your cursor there, there is a preview. Depending on the version of the application you are using, there is a preview of how the tool works. The system previews you how the tool applies. So if you are a beginner, you can have an impression of what the tool does in an animated preview of what the tool does. Then we have artboards. We have one artboard in this case, but you can go back to the settings, the document setup, and create more artboards. So we have a tool for editing artboards. We've seen the artboard is the work area, where the printable area of the work. So once I hit the edit artboards, I can have changes made to my artboard. I can adjust it. I can adjust its size by dragging the anchor points on the artboard. It activates by the outline having a dotted boundary. So it allows you to adjust the artboard via the small boxes which are called anchor points. You can adjust your artboard. You can have another artboard created as well. So here you can click and drag to have the artboard moved around. You can drag it around. We can copy and paste. You can copy and paste to have another artboard, similar artboard created, exactly a replica of the artboard you are having by copy and paste. So you can have as many artboards by copying and pasting the artboard to create more artboards. So that one comes in handy in cases where we need more artboards. You can have a situation where you need to work with several artboards. So the system allows you to have more artboards by copying and pasting. Or you can set, when you are creating your file, you can set as many artboards. So here we have 3 artboards as we are seeing on the status bar. So that is a brief about the application. You have seen the menus, you have seen the palettes and the toolbar, and a basic view of how the palette, some palettes can be used. We have seen the navigation palette, we have seen the tools, we have seen the artboards, we have looked at layers. You can have as many layers in your work. So all those in line with supporting the user to create artwork. We are going to see more how to generate artwork, create logos, insert images, so that we create professional work. Thank you for tuning.